Panther Ranger. Hey YouTube, Panther Ranger here. With the 10th anniversary of Megaforce coming next month, I'm gonna do a throwback review of the Power Rangers Super Megaforce basic figures from Bandai back in 2014. And these figures I've had for a very long time, and I can't wait to see them like in the Lightning collection. Sadly, I don't have the females in the Silver Ranger, but I do have the main three though. And for the accessories that they come with, of course, is like, you know, their Super Mega Sabers. If you can see that clearly. Come on, focus. Come on, focus. 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 Oh, there you go. I do think it's a good job, like the sword and all that stuff. Like, oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I do think they did a good job with the details, like the sculpting and all that stuff. I wish they would have had, like, you know, paint applications for these swords, but hopefully we can see that in the Lightning collection. And the other accessory that they come with is, like, you know, the Super Megaforce blaster. I do think they did a good job with this sculpt. Come on, focus. Focus, focus. Come on, focus. Focus. Anyway, I do think they did a good job with the sculpt. I do think, you know, like, it's almost, I wish they would have painted it well, you know, like, you know, to make it look more show accurate. Hopefully we can see that in the Lightning collection. And I mean, of course, like, each Ranger comes with the same accessories though. And without further ado, let's take a closer look at the Rangers. First, we have the Super Megaforce Red Ranger. I do think that, you know, the symbol is painted very well. The visor and the helmet, I do think it's sculpted very well. I mean, I really like, you know, the gold outline around the visor as well. Even the gold paint around, like, you know, the helmet is amazing. And what I like about this, like, helmet, it's like, you know, it almost reminds me of like a pirate hat, you know. Like, and also the amazing symbol as well. And I do like the gold, like, you know, vest, I would say. And the cloak is, like, painted very well and sculpted very well. And I really do think the black, you know, representing, like, you know, and this whole costume is supposed to represent like a pirate's code, I do. And I do think it's a good idea. And here's like his belt. I do think it's painting very well, but it's losing paint. Like, you know, I've had this figure for a long time. And I do think like the gloves and all are amazingly designed as well. Like the silver especially is my favorite. And the back of, like, you know, and the coat, I think it's better. And the back of the belt, it's also losing paint because, like I said, I had this figure for a long time. I do think the legs are sculpted very well. It looks a little bit more like a muscle suit almost. And like the boots, I do think it's really designed well. And like the cuffs are amazing as well. Okay, that's the Red Ranger, and let's talk about the articulation. As for articulation, you can rotate his head, like, you know, from left to right, but, like, you know, the collar is kind of like, you know, stopping it from, you know, it's kind of hindering it, I should say. And you can rotate his arms 360 as well. And you can have like it's like a single elbow joint as well. And there is wrist rotation, hand rotation as well. They're both in 360 degrees. And you can get his legs to kind of move up, but, like, you know, his, like, coat is, like, kind of, like, hindering it. But you can get his, like, you know, knees to move. And there is boot rotation as well in both feet. And of course, like, you know, you can get him to hold his weapons. Like, come on. Would you look at that? That is him holding his weapons right there. A little limited articulation, but it's still a decent figure. Hopefully we can get to see this Ranger in the Lightning collection soon. Even his Megaforce counterpart, like, you know, you can But for now, let's move on to the Blue Ranger. Now looking at the Blue Ranger, as you can see, his visor is a little different because like it's a different shape as well. Like of course everything else is the same, like but it's in a different color, like the belt and like the boots. And if you can see, like in this type of angle, it kind of looks similar to the Red Ranger's visor, like in this angle. If you can see, there's a little similarity as well. And of course, like for Red Rangers, like the visor is different as well. And of course, everything else is the same. But I'm not gonna go through any articulation though, because it's gonna take a long time. And now moving on to the Green Ranger. And last but not least, we have the Green Ranger. And his visor is also different, but everything else is the same, like like red and green, like same body mold and all that stuff. And the paint applications are similar, like like the gold and all that stuff and the silver. But there's some differences, like color and the visors. Like take a look at Blue Ranger and Red Ranger as well. They have different visors, but everything else is the same. Like except for color. But anyway, the colors different, like and green, like has everything, like the gold outlines, the symbol, everything, like but he is kind of losing a little bit of paint here and a little bit on his collar as well. Everything else is the same, like even articulation. Yeah, and also like red and green, like like all three of them come with the same weapons as well, so you know what they're gonna look like. And that is the Green Ranger. Overall, I give this Red Ranger an 8 out of 10. Like some of the positives about this figure is like the paint applications, like and the accessories. But like a little bit of articulation is like especially the arm articulations. But the negatives about this figure is like the head articulation, because like the collar is hindering, and the leg articulation, like when you try to get it to kick up, like this coat is kind of hindering it. Hopefully we get to see him in the Lightning Collection. Overall, I'd give this Blue Ranger a solid 8 out of 10. Same reasons as the Red Ranger. Hopefully we get to see him in the Lightning Collection soon. Overall, I'd give this Green Ranger figure a solid 8 out of 10. Same reasons as Red Ranger and Blue Ranger. Hopefully we get to see him in the Lightning Collection soon. And that is my review of the Power Rangers Super Megaforce basic figures from Bandai. Can't wait to see these in the Lightning Collection soon. So if you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up, share this video, subscribe to my channel, don't forget to hit the bell icon for notifications, and I will see you again in another video. Have a more phenomenal day.